So today I'm going to be making some smudge sticks, and I'm going to show you how I make my smudge sticks with stuff that I have growing outside in my garden. And this video was requested by one of my YouTube family members here. Her name is Angel, and I want to thank you, Angel, for requesting this this tutorial. I'm going to go outside and start to harvest some of my herbs that I like to use for my smudge sticks. So if you want to see how I do my smudge sticks, then just keep on watching. And this one is for you, Angel. All right, so I came outside because I was going to cut some of the herbs. But as you guys can tell, it's pretty windy and it looks like it's going to rain. So I think I'm going to start these smudge sticks tomorrow. Hopefully it's not as windy and cloudy. Even though on this side it looks nice and bright. But on this side, you can start seeing the dark clouds roll in. So we'll do this DIY tomorrow. So today we're gonna go collect our herbs and our whatever you want to use, our flowers for our smudge sticks or cleansing sticks or scent sticks, whatever you want to call them. It looks like a better day today. There are no menacing clouds. So let's go get some of our stuff that we're gonna use for our smudge sticks. I will say that you can use pretty much anything that you want. I've done some rosemary sticks, I've done some eucalyptus sticks, I've done some with the sage, and normally you're supposed to have like white sage. Now I don't know all the benefits to you doing the smudging, but I know that I like the way they look. They look so pretty when I make them. I like to use them for decor, but I also like to use them to cleanse my house. And let's just go and see what I have to make these smudge sticks. I have a little helper today, and I've got my stuff here, and there goes my helper. So I have some roses here. As you can see, these are my red roses. They're already falling apart, but I'm still going to use those petals from those red roses. And then over here I have those orange ones there as well, and then of course they're falling apart as well, but I like to use just the petals. And then here, look at that beautiful pink rose right there. Oh, so beautiful. So right here I have some rosemary and some bay leaves. Right over in that area there, right there, I have some lavender that I can use as well. Here's my sage, and I'm going to cut some sage. I'm going to use some of this sage in my smudge sticks, and as you can see, it already has little flowers on there. You can also use the little flowers on there. And look at my pomegranate tree. It has a lot of pomegranates on there. So pretty. But I'm going to use some sage, and then I also have in the front yard I also have some eucalyptus. So let me just start getting some stuff for our smudge sticks. You can also use some fresh mint here, and I have a bunch of these little flowers that I can use as well. So here is what I have so far. Let me put this on the ground here. I have some lemon balm, and I have a nosy dog here sniffing my stuff here. And I have lemon balm, rosemary, sage, these different roses from my garden, a bunch of different roses. And I didn't do mint, but I think I'm gonna go to the front, grab some eucalyptus, and I have some very beautiful lilac roses in the front that I can trim. And then I'm gonna put these smudge sticks together. Oh yeah, and these are also the petunias. No, this is the Mexican petunia or Mexican something. And oops, sorry guys, Priscilla's being nosy here. She just wants to be nosy. But I also have in here some marigolds as well. And what else did I put on here? And then these cute little oh, I have some lavender in here. This one is just trying to give grandma love. And I still have it with the little buds on there. They're spent already. The bees got to it, but it's okay. You could still use your lavender. And I believe, where are the other ones? Oh, right here, these. I have these here as well. These are edible. I got just a little bit of everything. I'm not going to make a whole bunch. I'm just going to show you how I actually do my bundles. But I'm going to go to the front, grab some eucalyptus from my tree, and then maybe some of those lilac color roses. Here is our eucalyptus tree, and I need to get some eucalyptus from there. But I also have carnations and other things that I can use from the front here as well for my smudge sticks. Alright, so here are my herbs and flowers and stuff that I picked up. I couldn't get to my eucalyptus tree. I couldn't reach. I'm going to show you guys how I do my sage stick bundles. And you can also use, I have a cinnamon stick here, and you can use crystals if you want to put crystals in your smudge sticks. It has to be 100% cotton that you use for your string, and I got this color here and then this one here, and these are from Dollar Tree. They come like this, and as you can see, it's 100% cotton. And I also have a pink one that I'm going to use to tie my bundles together. So normally what I used to do is I used to rinse them in water and then let them dry, but it takes too long to do it that way. So I just want to make sure that there's no little bugs on there. So instead of putting them in water to rinse, I just left it out for a little bit. As you guys can see, it looks a little kind of sad, but you know, they were out for a little bit, and then I just kind of like make sure there's no little bugs in there. And then let's see, I'm gonna do some sage ones. I just gather my sage together like this. These are the real big ones, and I can actually, you know what, let me cut this guy down here. This one can go right on top. So I'm just getting the sage right here. I like to use a lot of the wooded stems because they give it, like it makes it sturdier to hold. And so I'm just doing that, and then here's that one. And let's see, right here. Again, this is how I make mine. I'm not a professional. I'm just showing you guys how I do mine. It was a requested video, so that's why I'm doing this. But you can do your sage like this, and then I have some of this lemon balm that I can add to it. See, I put one like right up here, and then another one right there like that. I'm going to tie this off first. And what color do I want to use? Let's see. I'll use this green here. And then what I like to do first is tie it together so it doesn't move on me. I'll tie it nice and tight, not to the point where you're bruising and cutting into your stems, but nice and tight, because this will shrink as it dries. And so I'm going to leave that there. And then I have my little bundle here. And then you can actually do another one if you wanted to, like up here. And then, I mean, you can make them as thick as you want, you know, and as long as you want. I might end up cutting it shorter than this, maybe making it about that length. But I'm going to add, let's see, I have some rose petals here that I can use. You can use the whole flower if you want to, like that. Whoa, it's a little windy here. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me pause this. I'm gonna go inside to show you guys how I do this. So it was getting really windy outside, so I just had to come inside and do it in my craft room. I just didn't want to make the mess. But I ended up cutting a small little piece of the eucalyptus that you can also use for your smudge sticks. Keep in mind, this is how I make mine, but I'm just using the stuff that I have in my garden. So, you know, I have like my sage, and then I was working on this one here. As you guys can see, I was working on that one outside. I cut these little, oh my god, these little flowers. This is jasmine, and it smells so good. So I cut some of those because we have so much in our garden, and right now that it's windy, you could smell them, and they smell amazing. So I'm just going to use that. So again, use whatever you have. So we were doing this one outside, and so I added the sage and the lemon balm, and then let's see, what do I want to add? You can add whatever scents you want. The sage smells a lot to me like church, when I used to go to church and they would use those incense or whatever, and it smells kind of like that to me. So I'm going to use some lemon balm with that one, and it's just putting your smudge sticks together, bundling them up, and just tying them. I've got my rosemary here, and I think I'll do some rosemary as well on here. With these little strings that I have here, I'm going to tie my rosemary onto my sage here, but I'm going to add more stuff to this. So let's see. I'm going to add some more sage right on top here, so I can make it thicker. And then I'll tie this off. And I have it all right there like this. And see, now you can start seeing it's getting a little thicker. So now what I'm going to do is I can cut these off here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead now and start getting my yarn. All right, so I cut a big old piece of string here and I folded it in half. And then what I'm going to do in the middle, after you folded your string, in the middle here, I'm going to use that, bring it in, and then I'm just going to tie a knot, put my thumb on there to make sure it doesn't loosen, and then just tighten it. And once I do my knot, I'll grab one side of the yarn, and then I'll just hold on to my bundle, and then I'll just bring that around, make sure it's nice and snug, like so, to the top, and then like that, see? And then I'll get this side and then I'll crisscross it the other way, going the opposite way. And I've tried to make it look like little X's. I'm holding on to this piece of string here. And then as you can see, just like that, then I get to the top here. Now, once I get to the top, you can tie it right here. You can leave all this extra up here if you want, if you're just going to use it for decor purposes, or you can snip this off. But I'm just going to make a little knot up here. Make sure you give yourself plenty of string there. Okay, there we go. I'm not going to cut this yet. And as you can see, there it is. Now I want to add my flowers. And so I'm going to add some of these here. And I'm going to keep it with the whole stem like this, because I don't want it to fall apart on me. I don't need that much, actually. So I can cut that right there. So I cut this down. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this over to cover my little petal or my little branch, like so. Okay, we have it there. And then I'll do a rose petal on there. And then what I'll do is I'll bring this that way, and then the other one is going to come this way, do a little crisscross my little rope right there, my string I mean right there. When you get to the back, after you do this, you just crisscross it in the back like that, and then that way when this is ready to come up like this, and you can see mine is starting to, one is longer than the other. So I'm just gonna put this guy on here like this. When I put the flower on here, I like to bring my string on top of it so the flower doesn't move. And then I'm just gonna crisscross it. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. And then I'll flip it, and then I'll make sure that this is nice and firm and tight. And then I'll just tighten it. Since I ran out of string here, so I'm gonna make sure I do a nice little tight knot on here, and then I'll cut the excess off. And then I have it right there like that. And then I'll just go on and add my little flowers. Now let me show you. I have a marigold right here. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to lay them flat like this. See how it has this? Because if you take this apart, like if you cut it, it's gonna fall apart on you. So I'll just keep it on there like that. And then because I ran out of string, I'm just gonna cut some more string. Okay, do the same thing in half. I cut and I have it in half right here. I'm gonna use this half right here. And then just tie it. Okay, tie it and then bring it around to the front. And I want to make sure that this, see the marigold, I just tied it right there. Bring it around, crisscross it, hold on to it nice and tight, bring it around to the front. And then you can add, let's see, let's add some rose petals here. Let's do one of these. I don't care that it looks like this because it's going to dry. So I'm just going to put it on here like this. I cover that little stem that's on there from the marigold. And I'll just cover it. Do my little crisscrosses. Do it a couple times. And then I'm going to tighten it really good right now. Make sure you tighten this really well so you have enough here. And then I just crisscross it, bring it to the back, and then just tie it. I have Priscilla in here, so if you hear her breathing, she's in here. She's laying down by my feet. And I just cut off. The ends, and you have something like this. If you want to come back, you can come back with some more of your twine and of your string and just go around it to secure it really well. But I'm going to leave the top like this. I like the way it flares out. And then what I'm going to do is I'll use my cutters, and then what I'll do here is I have too many sticking out uneven here, and I like to even that out by just cutting that all one length. And then what I like to do after is if there's anything sticking out like this, then I'll just go on and give it a nice little trim, making sure not to cut your string. But that's what I like to do, and I like the way that looks like that. That one looks pretty. So I'm gonna keep this here to dry on the side, and if I use the eucalyptus, what I like to do is I'm just gonna cut it right here. And then I have my little bundle here of eucalyptus. And then I have some of this sage. But you know what I think I'm going to do with the eucalyptus? I'm going to do the eucalyptus and the lavender. I'm going to put this all together. And I'm also going to use the rosemary. Matter of fact, I'll put the rosemary on top of the eucalyptus, and then my lavender. If you wanted to add some, you know, sage, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to add what I have here, so I'm not going to make too many. And this is the leaves of the lavender, the branches of the lavender. And like I said, I left the little buds on there, even though the bees got to the little lavender flowers. That's okay. I think it's still going to smell really good when you go burn it. And then I'm going to tie this guy. And I'm just going to fast forward this part so you guys can see. I'm just going to set this up. I just wanted to show you how I'm using this. And then pretty much it's very self-explanatory. So I'm just going to go ahead and just start doing this bundle. And there it is. You can see how these look, and then you just let them dry. And then let me show you. Here's this one. This one is all rosemary. nothing but rosemary and some little rosebuds on there, as you guys can see. And it's falling, they flake off really easily. And then here's this one that has the sage, but it also has a few little flowers here from, this is lavender from my lavender bush outside, and then my yellow rose on there. And then this is just straight rosemary on this one. And then let's see, what else do I have? Oh, I forgot the cinnamon stick. I forgot to show you guys the cinnamon sticks. I just remembered. All right, so what I'm just gonna roll with it. What I'm gonna do is, now that it's all tied, I'm just going to add a couple of cinnamon sticks around here, just to give it that nice scent of cinnamon. And I'm just gonna tie it on there like this, and then maybe I can add like a little flower on top, just to kind of, let's see, right there like this, maybe, you know, add some cinnamon stick around here. And then I'm just going to tie that. Let me tie it. Just do a little tie on there in the back. I get distracted so easily. Okay, see, I have that cinnamon stick on there. And then I'll just do the same thing. I'll add another cinnamon stick here, maybe to the side. I'm just going to, as you can see right there, I'm just put my cinnamon stick there, and then I'm just going to wrap around nice and tight my string, and then I'll bring the other one the other way to make my little X's. You don't have to do it this way, you can do it the one way, but I like the way the X's look on there. Okay, like that, and then I'll just tie it. And there's your little cinnamon sticks right there. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and make a little tie on this one as well. All right, I finished tying that one, and here it is. Here are my smudge sticks. I hope you guys can understand the process, and this is one of many ways you can do your smudge sticks. I will say though that if you do dry your stuff and then start to put it together, it's going to fall apart. It's going to flake off, because as you can see, they get really, when they get dry, see, they get pretty brittle, and you can hear all that. That's the thing if you dry them. That's why I like to do them like this. It's very, very simple, very self-explanatory. You can use pretty much anything that you have in your garden, and I think they look so pretty. They look so, so pretty. Look at that. And I love the way they look once they dry. And when they dry, you can use them for decor, or you can use it to cleanse your house. And there's many, many benefits out there. Like I said, I don't know everything about this. I just know that I like making them, and then I enjoy using them in my home. I love the smells. And when I smudge my home, I put out good intentions. I open up my windows, let all the negative energy out. And that's what I do with my smudge sticks. And then some of them I use for decor. But you, again, like I said, you can also put a crystal. Once you do all this, then you can add a crystal on there, and then just make sure you tie it on really good. And then when you go to burn it, you know, the crystal's not going to burn. All right, so here are the updated ones that I did. And this one is with all the leftover little flowers that I had on my sage. Remember how my sage was full of these little blooms, these little flower blooms? All I did is I gathered them all together, look at that, with the stems, and I just added the rose buds on top, and that's all I did on this one. And there's different ways to do this. I just wanted to show you how I did mine, but here's this one with the lavender right there. And you know, that's what the back looks like. Nobody really sees the back, especially if you're just decorating with them. But if you're going to burn them, you know, make sure that this is completely dry so they burn. I usually like to put them on a cooling rack, and I just put them on top. It has a bunch of little holes so the air can circulate, and it just dries them out. Give it a few weeks, a couple weeks, and then it should completely dry and look like this. Completely dry. Here's this one here with the cinnamon sticks in there. And you can cut them out completely. I like to leave a little bit of the, see, overhang like this on the top on this. But there's some that are completely trimmed. Like, let me see. See how this is completely trimmed on both sides? And this is all eucalyptus with flowers, with some rosebuds. But yeah, you can do however you want to do yours. Like I said, mine are for decorative purposes. I do have some, I do burn them. I'm not gonna lie, I do burn some of these. I do like to display my pretty little smudge sticks. I think they look so pretty, and I just love them. They're fun to make, and I'm just using what I have in my garden, and it smells so good in here right now. Oh, it smells like sage and like the roses, and it just smells really good. Here's this one that I did with all my scraps, as you guys can see, and then there's the cinnamon inside there. And what I did with my scraps is I just, you know, grabbed all my scraps together and just bundled it all up together, and then here's what we have. This is the way I do my smudge sticks. There's so many different ways to do this. The way I recommend, though, is doing it with the fresh herbs or fresh flowers that you have. If you dry them and then try to put them together, they are going to fall apart on you. So this is the way that I like to do my smudge sticks. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I want to thank you, Angel, for requesting this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, friends. Bye.